Hello everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video I want to take a bit of a deep dive into the Mercurial gear set. I don't know about you, I'm actually a little bit slow getting into live arena this season, but from the little bit that I've played I've already noticed Mercurial is making a huge impact, as is, by the way, Hilvy. Hilvy's the other big thing, and actually I don't have mine in Mercurial quite yet, but I've got Raglan in mine so far. You can check out my dedicated video on Raglan in Mercurial to see more about that. But yeah, 9-piece Mercurial Hilvy is absolutely a thing, and it's a menace, let me tell you. But it's not just for support champions. No, it's for damage dealers as well. In fact, yeah, this set is very much Stone Skin 2.0. What champions is Stone Skin good on in Arena? Basically all of them. Pretty much all of them. Now, some champions you're typically running 4 pieces of Stone Skin with another set because there are a lot of very, very powerful 4-piece sets such as Lethal, Chronophage can even work, Pinpoint, Feral, lots of different options there to deal with different things you might fight. With Stone Skin, 6 pieces was also quite a strong, definitely for support champions, a very powerful build as well. You could have 6 pieces and then throw in a couple of different accessories to get a bit of extra speed or whatever, and you were good. And then funny enough, 9 pieces of Stone Skin wasn't there when it first came out. It was added later. Absolutely rubbish. Nobody ever built it. Nobody cares, because what was the point? It made the shield bigger, but it was sort of irrelevant. Anyone who was really good in Stone Skin, you never basically broke their shield anyway. It's just not really a thing. I assume Plarium, I talked about this in my video yesterday, I assume Plarium wanted you to break Stone Skin shields because they put in the Cracking Roots Blessing. They put in the Stone Cleaver gear set in Live Arena. Unfortunately, they made Cracking Roots Blessing only really work at 6-star, and they made Stone Cleaver basically impossible to get. So yeah, nobody ever really broke the shield, and nobody needed 9 pieces of Stone Skin. And here we are at Mercurial now instead. So, Mercurial, quite differently from Stone Skin, whereas Stone Skin was particularly strong at 4, and then still very strong at 6 pieces, Mercurial is really very different, where it's totally weighted towards the 9 pieces. That is where the real power spike comes. The 6 pieces is not that great. Well, I mean, it's fine, but nothing too special. And the 4 pieces, decent, but probably not all that much better than Stone Skin. And in most cases, you might actually lean towards Stone Skin instead. Let's look at it. So, what you're getting out of this set, you're getting lots of speed along the way, a little bit of HP, some resistance. The speed is the main draw. It's actually it's a solid set for building lots of speed, and speed is going to be a key stat. In fact, the key stat to look for with this set. With 4 pieces, you get 1 stack of Total Guard at the start of a round. With 6 pieces, you get 2 stacks of Total Guard. And with 9 pieces, you get 3 stacks of Total Guard. But the key thing here is that it will also regenerate 1 stack of Total Guard at the start of each of your champion's turns if they have no Total Guard stacks. And that's the big thing that sets it apart. Well, yeah, one of the big things that sets it apart from Stone Skin. Stone Skin is giving you, in a lot of ways, basically complete damage protection for 1 turn at 4 pieces or 2 turns at 6 pieces. Total, but after your 2 turns, you're basically not getting anything out of the set. It's only lasting for the first turn or 2 of the fight, and that's it. Whereas Mercurial maintains value. It keeps on giving you a crazy amount of survivability with every single turn that you take. What does Total Guard do? It's actually quite simple. It literally just blocks everything except for increasing cooldowns. That's basically it. Effectively, it just stops everything. Literally everything. Nothing works except for increasing skill cooldowns. Now, also worth noting, all bosses ignore Total Guard. Totally ignore it. But yeah, and you can increase, so someone like a Fabian can come in, increasing enemy skill cooldowns. That works against people with Total Guard buffs. Other than that, it stops absolutely everything. The only way to get rid of this Total Guard is to deal damage. Each hit that deals damage to a character will remove a stack of Total Guard. So if I come in with my Marius, perfect example, he's got a triple hit, he removes all 3 stacks of Total Guard. It's gone. It is gone. Obviously, when they take a turn, they're going to regenerate 1 stack. But yeah, that's fine. If I smack them with a Predator A2, it's a double hit, that removes 2 stacks of Total Guard. Pretty simple. So yeah, they're sort of the the ways to deal with it. It also does get removed. You lose some stacks of total guard from reflect damage effects. And also, I think if you soak up some damage with ally protection, so don't run it on champions with ally protection. But yeah, includes damage taken via ally protection buffs, reflect damage buffs, as well as passives that share or reflect damage. So let me see. Ursula, right? Is that her name? Ursuga. She receives damage from allies when they get critical hits. So presumably this is going to rip through her total guard almost instantly. Yeah, she's another perfect example. She puts that ally protection. That ally protection damage is going to rip her total guard stacks off. So yeah, simply enough, don't put total guard on people with ally protection. Reflect damage is something you can't really plan against or around too much, but it does become a very, very powerful way to deal with total guard. So for example, Gallius reflects half the damage he takes back to the attacker. So if they hit him once, he should reflect damage back once and knock a stack of total guard off. That can be very helpful. Another really good way to deal with it is counterattack, right? They hit you, you counterattack, and you can remove the stack of total guard. Remember, they get the stack of total guard at the start of their turn. So with counterattack, they start their turn, they get total guard, they hit you, you counterattack. Now, yes, the counterattack won't do any damage. It gets blocked by total guard and everything it does. So, for example, this decreased speed, that's getting blocked as well. Nothing's getting through. But it will remove the total guard and leave them vulnerable until the start of their next turn. So that's really strong as well. Ally attack champions, I think, are likely to gain some value. Going with an ally attack, yeah, the more hits you land against someone with total guard, the better. So those are some of the broad ways to counter it. How do we build it? How do we build it? Well, there's really a lot you want to do with gear because much like Stone Skin, there are multiple different builds you can do. The one general rule, the most important rule, is for most of these champions, of course, I've got some pieces with terrible examples of it right here, but speed is generally going to be king, right? Any pieces of the set that you get with good speed rolls on it are going to be incredibly valuable. Why is that? For the simple reason that, well, the faster you are, the quicker you get back to your turn, the quicker you get your total guard stack back, and that can really disrupt enemies and make it so that they can't deal with your champion at all. It's really, really impactful. So speed is king. Other stats to look for supports: speed, accuracy, if there's support who needs accuracy. So for example, my Raglan doesn't need accuracy, but if I was looking to build total guard Mercurial for my Hilvi, she does need accuracy. So I'll be looking for as much accuracy as possible for her. So accuracy chests with speed, same thing as Stone Skin. A chest like this in Mercurial is literally absolute premium. It's top tier. It's a game changer. Same thing if you get a banner. That's going to be the hardest thing to get good banners because you need the right main stat. You're going to need speed rolls on the banner. Yeah, you've got to get it, and there's not many you can have. Whereas, you can get away. You can kind of run any ring, certainly on a support champion. Any ring will do. Even any necklace can do sometimes, but getting a banner with the right main stat and a lot of speed can make an absolutely whopping difference. So yeah, speed is king. Cycle back to your turns, get total guard back. Again, for supports, HP is pretty nice, so you can take some hits when your total guard does run out. But speed is king, high accuracy. Resistance might be something you could build. You could build a high resistance Mercurial champion and try to resist people putting your skills on cooldown. I think that's pretty niche. I wouldn't worry too much about it for now, but if I did get good resistance gear in Mercurial, I would definitely be keeping it. Something that's worth considering for the future. But for now, I'd say building super high resist is not too crazy. But so you're going to be putting this set on some champions who want lots of resist anyway, like Galathir, Theodosia, Marishka, perhaps. There's a lot of champions who are going to want some resistance, and this will. So yeah, keeping some is a good idea. On top of that, so that's the support build. You're looking for lots of speed, lots of accuracy, lots of resistance is good. HP is good. For your damage dealers, you can run this on literally any damage dealer in the game. as well. So for example, Carnage is a pretty classic example. Oftentimes with damage dealers, what you're doing is you're running 4 pieces of Stone Skin, try keep them alive for a turn, then Lethal for extra damage, and yeah, then you might be running like a defensive relic as well to try protect them from being polymorphed, or to protect them from crowd control once their Stone Skin runs out. Cool. What you can do instead is you can run them in 9 pieces of Mercurial. While they have that total guard, number one, they can't take any damage. Unlike Stone Skin, they can't be bombed, they can't get it removed, they don't need Lightning Cage to protect the Stone Skin. They don't need Wand of Submission to protect them from Polymorph. They're immune to Polymorph while they've got Total Guard. Pretty nice, right? It's pretty good. They can't die. And it keeps coming back every single turn. So your damage dealer stays tanky, whereas Stone Skin literally just protects them for the first turn. So this is something that's really worth considering. I was looking at, I've got a terrible build here for my Carnage. Unfortunately, I don't, for example, have a crit damage ring or whatever, but you can see the quality of the gear, because it's early on, is much worse. But compared to what I've done here, we're just straight up losing out in the 25% ignore defense. That's just gone, and that's a big blow. I'm losing some crit rate, going to lose 20 accuracy, and then some HP resist defense. That's fine. In terms of the stats, we're not losing much that makes a difference apart from 10% crit rate. So when we get better quality gear, over time, it will be able to give me somewhat similar stats to what's going on here, and it should have. It should be a pretty huge improvement. And you couple that basically with a damage relic. Now I can give my Carnage a Cat's Gaze or something. It doesn't need Wand of Submission. It's going to be protected by the Total Guard. That's what you're looking for. Again, you could see with this example here, I think faster damage dealers is the way to go with this, not slower ones. You want faster ones. You also want to only put this on damage dealers if they don't need the damage. So Carnage, he's okay with not doing absolutely batshit damage because he's all about placing his debuffs and spreading them. Now, he does want to kill people to spread the debuffs, but he doesn't need to hit ludicrously hard. Some champions are going to struggle. They're not going to have enough damage without having the lethal set. But some champions will. Plenty of champions will have enough damage. So I think Predator is actually a pretty good example. I've got mine with Merciless right now, but he like overkills people like crazy. You could totally run him in 9-piece Mercurial with a damage relic, his best in slot damage relic, and just have the guy go crazy. And now, not only are you dealing with the evades, you're also having to deal with him totally continuously regenerating total guard. And yeah, it's just going to be a pain in the butt. He's going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. So yeah, that's another thing you're looking at. So you want to collect damage sets for every type of damage dealer. You want to be collecting sets for attack damage dealers, for HP damage dealers, for defense, for hybrid damage dealers who need some accuracy as well. You want to be keeping it all. So you're going to be looking for any pieces with stuff like this, you know, speed boots with crit damage, crit rate, and accuracy. Fantastic. Preferably ascended into speed would be ideal. Some crit rate gloves with speed rolls are going to be really, really good. And yeah, again, any of these crit pieces are going to be lovely. Again, they're only 5-star. So there's room to grow, but that's generally what you're looking for. I would say rough rule of thumb for like late to end game play, you're probably looking for top pieces with triple rolls generally, or like you can see here, this, for example, has got effectively 4 rolls into good stats. This one has... it's got, again, effectively 4 rolls into good stats for Carnage. Cool. So what you're looking for, I say, like, you know, triple rolls in speed on the top pieces are really nice. Double rolls of speed on your chest and gloves are pretty good as a baseline, because it's harder to get main stats with speed for those pieces. Speed boots obviously being ideal. But yeah, it's a set that's only going to get stronger with time, but it is ridiculously strong right now. Definitely easier to build it for supports. Definitely easier. So look to your supports. I can show you the 2 champions I've got built in it so far. I've got my Raglan. She's just going with lots and lots of speed. I don't need her to be crazy fast. I'm fine if she is slower than their damage dealers. She doesn't have any resistance because she's immune to having her skills increased, which is the one weakness of Total Guard. But she's just going to be spamming revives on people. So the goal with her. So she's been really, really effective. I've got a whole video on it. Another classic example, Nell Blackteeth. Before, you were running her in 4 Stone Skin, 1 Pinpoint to try protect her from being killed, because when she dies, It basically disables her Arachnolix or Lethal Dose, and the poisons she's putting out just don't do much damage if she's dead. So you really want to keep her alive. But then because she's putting out so many poisons, she get polymorphed. And even with 4-piece Pinpoint, she would get polymorphed still actually quite a lot. It's kind of annoying because she can't run a Wand of Submission. She needs to run Arachnolixir. So she can't be reflecting polymorph back like other damage dealers. Well, her problems are all solved. Well, I guess your problem for fighting Nell has become far worse because now you got Mercurial, where she's got total protection from damage from 3 different hits at the start of the fight. She's completely immune to polymorph while ever this stuff persists. And yeah, she's gaining loads of turn meter as well from her passive, so she can quite easily cycle through her turns. Again, the problem is, of course, getting the stats high enough is tricky with the new set. But, this is Minel. So for example, she's pretty darn slow. Tricky to have her with enough attack and accuracy without having her 5 or 6 star. But it is what it is. But yeah, you can consider this on almost anything. So again, I would say, just like Stone Skin, to reiterate, guys, just like Stone Skin, who is this good on for Arena? Almost everyone. Almost everyone. But it is much more leaning towards 9 pieces as opposed to 4 pieces, 6 pieces. So it's much more difficult to build a full set. Supports are going to be the easiest to get it on first, because so long as they've got lots of speed and enough accuracy, they can kind of make it work. Even if they're super squishy, they could just rely on the total guard to protect them, and it can be kind of obnoxious. It can be very difficult to deal with. But, I mean, I'll tell you, I've seen like some 9-piece Mercurial Embresses already. Obviously, 9-piece Mercurial Nell. Seen some Rotus in 9-piece Mercurial. It is a pain to deal with. It becomes really difficult to actually kill these champions. So, yeah. We'll see if they add more counters in the future. I would say for now, Carnage is a great example. He can counterattack with a double hit. He's got a 50% chance to counterattack whenever an enemy hits anyone on his team, and that can increase with debuffs. That's very helpful for stripping it off, and he's got a triple hit and a double hit there. So he's very good. Multi-hits, counterattacks, really good against total guard. Marius is another good example. He's got a triple hit AoE, and then he's got an AoE A1, which he counterattacks with quite often. He's very good against total guard as well. And any champions who have multi-hits are going to be great. Any champions with counterattack, reflect damage effects, they're going to be great. And yeah, any sort of slower champions with only single hits are going to start to struggle as you do fight more people with this set. And there's no way to tell what set they've got before you go into the fight. And yeah, I mean, I think you can expect pretty much like Stone Skin that as time goes on, you're just going to fight people that are just covered in Stone Skin. I mean, like, look at all my damage. They just all have that. Well, all the PvP ones just have Stone Skin, right? With a rare exception. It's just, it's kind of, yeah. So you're going to see something similar. I will say for damage deal, if you can't build the 9-piece, I do think 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece Savage is still a really good way to go. The damage blessings in PvP are kind of meh. They're just not that good. But you could totally, with Total Guard, you could run, with Mercurial, you could start to run like Life Harvest or Temporal Chains, even Ward of the Fallen, perhaps. Like, you get Intimidating Presence on a couple more champs. Like, there's a few things you can do with this. You could run Polymorph, right? You can't have it. The problem with Polymorph, why are people not running Polymorph as much anymore? The problem is that Wand of Submission reflects it back, and you're screwed. You get Polymorphed instead, you're screwed. Great news. If you got Mercurial, you're immune to it, so you can run Polymorph. I guess if they're placing debuffs on you. I don't know how it interacts, actually, with Total Guard. If you still have Total Guard, they try to debuff you, and it's obviously blocked because you're immune. Will you still Polymorph them? I think you probably will, because, yeah, I think so. And in that case, even if they Wand of Submission reflect it back, it's not big of a deal. But yeah, other meta shifts we'll definitely see. Wand of Submission and Lightning Cage definitely lose value if you are building 9-piece Mercurial, because you're just immune to this stuff, and your buffs can't be removed while you've got Total Guard. So you don't need these as much. So it does open up quite a few more sort of team builds. And we'll see if they add more champions to counter it. We'll see. We'll see. Presumably they will. I mean, they did add a bunch of stuff to counter Stone Skin. Obviously, a lot of it was never accessible, really, but they did add some. We'll see if they do something similar with this set. Who knows? Who knows how the meta will change? But for now, save up your Mercurial pieces, looking for pieces with lots of speed rolls. Keep both damage and support sets. Keep them all, and be very be very generous with your accessories. Even if they're bad, still keep them, right? Like, let's say if I wanted to put Carosa in 9-piece Mercurial, which is very strong for her, but like this accuracy, not great. This is not ideal. I'd much rather like this one's not great either, actually, but it's a little better. Well, I mean, you know, in theory, there's much better banners I could give her with lots of attack, lots more speed. This one, not amazing. But hell, if that gets her into 9-piece Mercurial, it might be good enough that I don't even care. Yeah, that's another thing. There you go. Lots of stuff to go over there. Let me know who you have built in Mercurial so far. As I said, I've got Nell, I've got Raglan. I was looking into Carnage. My gear's not quite good enough. I'll be looking to get Hilvy into 9-piece Mercurial ASAP as well. And I think that'll definitely be easier. Yeah, it's definitely easier. It's harder to do it with crit stats. They are the most intensive to actually build the right gear, given time. But yeah, brace yourselves. The age of Mercurial has come. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.